could see. Got our pearls and our laughter too. The search for facts is always new. In this place we keep it real. Classy vibes and joyful zeal. Join the journey, it's just begun. We shine brighter than the sun. Hit the light and share the vibe. Crush those pearls, let's take the ride. Hell is here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear. Spreading truth is what we do. So hit subscribe and join the crew. With every search we pave the way. Together we will save the day. With every laugh we lift our hearts. In the search we all take part. Thank you all for standing strong. Together we belong. Hit the light and share the vibe. Clutch those pearls, let's take the ride. Come in here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear. With every laugh we lift our hearts. In the search we all take part. Thank you all for standing strong. Together we belong. Hit the light and share the vibe. Clutch those pearls, let's take the ride.
Thank you, Hen House.
Come in here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear.
The pearls were bound together through the storm and darkest weather. We search high, we search low, together everywhere we go. Justin's here and he's going live with the best fans by my side. We're a family, we hold strong. Together we can right the wrong. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars. Searching wide, spreading love afar. Every stream, every heartfelt plea. We are one in this community. Daily grind, but we're not stopping. Pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share, we send hope and show we care. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars. Searching wide, spreading love afar. Every stream, every heartfelt plea. We are one in this community. Daily grind, but we're not stopping. Pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share, we send hope and show we care. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars. Searching wide, spreading love afar. Every stream, every heartfelt plea. We are one in this community. In the night or in the day, girls will light and lead the way. Justin's heart and they'll support. Together we will hold the fort. Daily grind, but we're not stopping. Pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share, we send hope and show we care.
Click play and come along with me. Together with the truth you see. Got our pearls and our laughter too. The search for facts is always new. In this place we keep it real. Classy vibes and joyful zeal. Join the journey, it's just begun. We shine brighter than the sun. Hit the like and share the vibe. Clutch those pearls, let's take the ride. Comments here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear. Defending truth is what we do. So hit subscribe and join the crew. With every search we pave the way. Together we will save the day. Defending truth is what we do. So hit subscribe and join the crew. With every search we pave the way. Together we will save the day. With every laugh we lift our hearts. In the search we all take part. Thank you all for standing strong. Together we belong. Hit the like and share the vibe. Clutch those pearls, let's take the ride. Comment here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear. Hit the like and share the vibe. Clutch those pearls, let's take the ride. Comment here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear. Come along with me. Together with the truth you see. Got our pearls and our laughter too. The search for facts is always new. In this place we keep it real. Classy vibes and joyful zeal. Join the journey, it's just begun. We shine brighter than the sun.
What did the irritated chicken say?
What should we fucking da? I don't fucking know. Yaranna yastara. Anarana. Okay.
I might have been a bitch to you this year. I just wanted to say that I'm still gonna be a bitch to you next year. It's New Year's, not new me. Clean slate what? It's
Oh Lord, kumbaya. Someone's.
Well, hello. Good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Today is January 20th, 2025. It is currently 9:24 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Just wanted to make you laugh a little. Hello, everyone. I know a lot of you are thinking this right now.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit. A bullshit.
Bullshit. I know a lot of you are thinking that. Can we invite Deception Detective over for some dinner sometime regularly? Sure, of course. I don't think the Deception Detective was very amused either. All of that as well. Thank you so much, Smiley. That was wild. I need to buy a drink, a little drinky drink. Thank you so much, Smiley. Really do appreciate it. I know what you mean. I do know what you mean, girl. And thank you, the Hen House, for 2 months. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you. Really do appreciate you. Thank you for your support. It was crazy to say the least. I know a lot of I have a little theory here. This is my opinion and just my opinion only. I kind of thought it was going to be more of a sparse. You know what I mean? Uh like a back and forth. Like, well, what about this? Well, what about, and then show me a receipt for that and this. And it wasn't. And it wasn't. And I know, but what I think, because I kept getting a lot of messages about that. And what I think is what happened here is I think Aiden took it smart. I think because if you notice, Aiden was just pretty much asking questions and letting SF do all the speaking. And I know we couldn't roll our eyes hard enough to a lot of things. I realize that. But Aiden is very intelligent. And someone just said it. Yep. Yep. Gathering the info. He was gathering the info. Now, what Aiden is going to do, hey, Ebony, good to see you. Now, what Aiden is going to do is going to be like, okay, turn that page. Okay. But you said this happened. You pointed out this. And I think he's going to go back to other things that he has said. And whoops, where was it? Compare and contrast. Yes. Bingo. Bingo. So I think there's going to be I believe he absolutely was Karen, especially in the beginning. Definitely seemed that. Hey, Serenity, thank you, my love. SF gave me a headache with all his talking in circles and maybe finally getting an answer. I agree. I agree, Serenity. Thank you, my dear. I really do appreciate you. Mm, so bad. It was so bad. Deception Detective was like, he is bizarre, or this is bizarre, or something to that effect. Hey, all. He was honest about payment and not speaking to law enforcement where it's due. That's true. That's true. Yeah, give credit where credit's due. I disagree with him on just about everything else. But that is true. He was honest about his payment, that he is working for he says, Edgar and KK pays him on behalf of Sebastian. Not really sure about that. But he is, and he is not speaking with law enforcement. Now, I don't know if he ever said he spoke with law enforcement before. I don't know. I don't keep up with him or anything. I really never even heard of him, but I never really followed him or anything until he said that one thing. Like I was uh, making up a 2025 thing when someone sent it to me, and I immediately. But I showed all that. It's neither here nor there. Hey, Jude. I know. We got a lot of us. I got timed out. A lot of us got timed out. I don't think it was. It just is what it is. SF dance around who pays him for the P. I mean, I think I know. I mean, I think it's, in my opinion, it's rather obvious who was paying him. So Nina, which is fine. It is what it is. If you got to be paid by somebody. So it is what it is. But I don't think Edgar and KK could, afford that right now. He did say on Lodge never before and or now has he spoke to law enforcement. Justin, he claimed he found Kylie Rodney. Okay. I wouldn't go that far, but well, some people's egos. I don't think that they use that many people all talking at once. Right. So, sure. You sent, okay. I've got so many texts. Did you notice that the guy who was really? Hold on. I don't think so. Hold on a second. I'll tell you. And just give me 1 second, y'all. Bear with me 1 second. Might have been this one. Nope, that's not it. Maybe this. Does anyone have that video of where the person that was at Hong's house? I'm trying to find it. I showed it last night. Bear with me. 1 moment. Maybe this one. Okay. 1 second. Oh, I don't think it's the same. I don't know. Okay, I'll look into that. What about Lily? Lily had it. I have it. I have it right here. I have it right here. I'll look into more of that. I don't really know about that. So, but that, I really think that's pretty much what Aiden was doing. He was collecting the information and is going to compare that Now, I've got a lot to say. The real me sing. I sent the clip on the man. Okay, I got it, Sharon. Thank you so much, my dear. Really do appreciate it. I'm going to fast forward it because the first part is really Aiden did a wonderful job. Yes, give it up for Laura. Yeah, he did a great job. Like I've always said, I absolutely fully believe we will be on the right side of history in who we supported. And this is a foul play case. We 100% know that. And you know what, one of the things that he said when he started talking about the AI, let me see if I can find that part. See if I can get it. Has it got a transcript yet? Nope. There's no transcript of it yet. Okay, because it's still technically live.
AI being able to actually
Okay, there it is. That really bothered me. Talking about the freaking AI, that it was someone taking out the trash. And completely ignoring the fact that there is a car that drove up the street, turned around, drove back down, pulled at the side of Stafford and Kellen right there, parked, got out of their car, ran through the yard, went to the house, was there. Two people came out and two people came back. They was around the vehicle. The one got in the car, the other one ran back. Now, if that looks like someone I'm taking out the trash, we take out the trash two different ways. That's all I can say. Mob crew is pissed about the lies he stated. Yeah, I texted him and I was like, what the fuck? I mean, seriously, like, what the hell? Thank you so much, SF Dance Around who pays him. Thank you so much, Sonina. Really do appreciate you. SW, thank you so much. SF, get 15 as a retainer for nothing. I need a job. If it's like a 15,000 retainer and 2,200 a day or something like that, that's I would yeah, that's all I can say. Yeah. Mob crew got a new video. Bring daylight to the flashlight bringing daylight to the flashlight video. Huh. That's interesting. Justin, I sent an explanation of the lights. See, I sent Justin of the lights by Mob Crew just now. Okay, I'll look at that. I really didn't expect anything more from SF. I understand. I understand. I really do. All right, I know
that it's a weird time of morning, but there's still
this is the part I want to kind of discuss right here.
The car is not foreign.
Are like, well, why won't you release what you know about these individuals?
And until maybe the fourth pass through, it's so faint, and we've enhanced it somewhere. It's a little bit more visible, but because there's actually another person that we've accounted for that's walking a dog, and so they're kind of like,
Maybe I need to back up a little bit more.
what?
So
You know,
with
they'll be in that part of the neighborhood, knocking on people's
Yeah.
doors, demanding things. You know,
yeah, I don't. And just to be clear, I think that that's not the way to go about things.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I mean, we've sat down and we've talked to parents of missing kids. We have talked to parents of murdered kids, and you know, we've all the goal is to be respectful about it. You start that conversation over in writing. You send them over something. You're like, hey, I'd like to talk to you about this. Would you be available? And that's how we ended. Not just going to go. There's a level of retention.
Yeah.
But it just has such a. That's not what you had as well.
Here we go.
This footage you do have that shows this person. Are they walking? Is it like, are they walking along the street? Do they seem to be cutting through a backyard? Like,
they come down a street. When I say down, I don't want people are going to think I'm talking downhill and stuff, but
Yeah.
they come one way on the street, and then they pause for a while, and then they go back the way they came from, and then unfortunately there's like some they're on the street on the like along the edge of the street, walking along with it, but then there's like some trees that kind of mat, and then you lose them, and then there is other camera angles that but I can't see them. You know, it's really frustrating. We don't see them again on any of the exits. So on the not exit, but on any of the reverse angles, and just, I mean, we have myself and an analyst been going over this, and I mean, we have spent day and night over and over. I mean, it's really frustrating because it's just like poof, they're gone, you know. And we didn't even catch this person until maybe the fourth pass through. It's so faint, and we've enhanced it somewhere. It's a little bit more visible, but because there's actually another person that we've accounted for that's walking a dog, and so they're kind of like, you know, kind of had our focus on there. But it looks like but they're not with this person because we've talked to the other person. So.
right. So
Yeah.
I guess, you know, the next question there will be the vehicles. There was obviously the right.
Hold on.
And so they're kind of like, you know, kind of had our focus on there, but it looks like, but they're not with this person because we've talked to the other person. So.
Right.
You've talked to the other person. Damn. Oh, we just ended it. That's why.
You know, there's daily, like people that come in Ubers and stuff like that.
Hold on. Let me just back this up. Sorry, guys.
To the neighborhood.
House, did any of them linger in the neighborhood? Like, was there any suspicious activity?
No, they didn't. So, you know, the Uber, the only reason that I showed the Uber clearly, well, there's a couple reasons I showed that. One, that it's been known about the Uber was there for a long time. And I think even the gentleman who got the Uber to go to the airport had put it on Facebook in the first day or two that he's like, oh, I had an Uber come at 3:30 in the morning. So that had been known.
Well, they didn't give a time about the Uber at that time. There was no time.
So I was a
neighbor
that I'm aware of, at least.
Not a neighbor. It was somebody in the neighborhood. You know, it was somebody on Kellen. So.
Yes, be great. Thank you so very much. Hi, wasn't it debunked that Sebastian hiding under the car? Yes, it was debunked. It was debunked even by Chris and Katie that he had never done that, and that the neighbor had him confused with someone else. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. It was not true. Sebastian has never left the home from any home. This is a child who stayed for hours on end with Seth and hours on end with KK. Sebastian came home of the evening by himself with KK. I mean, if he wanted to run away, he had plenty of time to do it, where he could have clearly have taken stuff where he wanted. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm going to show that in just a second.
I wasn't afraid to put that out. However, the other vehicle, which I can listen. I know nobody wants to take my word for it, but I can promise you, the car is not foreign to the neighborhood. It's known, and
Well, what about these two? Yeah, if you mention another creator, you're going to be kicked. Please don't. If What about the two vehicles or the two moving I guess we'll just say cars or uh that was internet capable in that neighborhood between the 25th and the 26th, between the time Sebastian went missing? The hits. Bingo. Bingo. Right, that criminal. Bingo. Hey Amos, good to see you, love. Thank you so much. FF sure did stumble over his words. He was gaslighting and used too many words to say nothing at all. Terrible liar, in my opinion. It was I wonder if the deception detective is going to do something with that, because there was a lot of stumbling. There was a lot of stumbling, to say the very, very least, right? Geofencing unknowns do not give vehicle descriptions. No, they don't. You're exactly right. They don't give vehicle descriptions at all. At all. Nope.
they are not. That's not known. If
Me
that
too, me
person,
too.
I know people would try to find out who that is and whatnot, and they go after them. And this person,
You're right, Barbara.
quite honestly, this person probably has no idea that people are trying to figure out what car that is and stuff.
If they are familiar with that neighborhood, they are certainly going to know that, oh, that's their car, which it's not, in my opinion, at all.
It has nothing to do with anything. Unfortunately, keep in mind, we want to find the clue. So it's disappointing to us as well when when none of these things are connecting.
So you say that this vehicle is not foreign to the neighborhood. Are you then saying that the vehicle is commonly in the neighborhood but is not owned by someone in the neighborhood?
That'd be fair to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this
It's
Okay. So are we going with the girlfriend thing again? A girlfriend getting picked up would happen in her driveway. Well, all right, let's talk about this. Let's say it was a girlfriend. Let's say it was a girlfriend, right? And this boy ran to her house with the flashlight after he drove all the way up and turned all the way around, not like he wasn't looking out for something, right? And he pulls over there and he gets out of the car and he runs to the house, and the lady runs back with him, and she runs the hell back quick after less than 3 minutes of being outside. And it was at a very specific house. very specific house.
Think
do,
of it
do you,
like
do you know who the owner?
think of
You
it
know
as-
who the owner of the vehicle is.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were saying something. I don't want to cut you off.
Think of it as like, there's daily, like people that come in.
Right. How many people are hanging out with flashlights at 3 a.m. taking out their trash? But he didn't even mention a car there that I'm aware of. that I
Ubers
recall.
and stuff like that, or Amazon deliveries or whatever it may be. But you have this, you have the same type of person for the neighborhood. So it's a known person, but not necessarily a resident.
So is this somebody with any known connection to the Proudfoot family?
No.
Okay. So not a family member, not a friend. All right. So I guess
no.
that's.
Yeah.
Is this
I mean,
somebody?
keep in mind, there's a construction site next door. There's a lot of work going on. And I know that it's a weird time of morning, but there's still, things that there's still, workers and whatnot. It's not a worker from the construction area. It's I don't want to say, it's hard to say. It's a person that is in that neighborhood, in and out, several times a week, and it's a known person, and there's nothing, absolutely zero to it whatsoever, nefarious.
All right. So I mean, is there regarding the night? Is there anything else you think is relevant to bring up?
I think it.
I know Seth said that the garbage truck issue was a non-issue as well.
Yeah.
The which issue?
He had said,
Which I hope Seth will clear this some way when he is on the Laura Lodge next time, that about the trash truck. Please. Seth does think the trash, not the trash truck. He did say it was a trash truck, but he said it for a reason. Number one, and if that, I think he needs to talk about that. He definitely thinks it's a big deal now. No, he wasn't on tonight. He's going to
said
be
at some
on.
point that
He's got an interview coming up with the Lore Lodge, and he's also got an interview coming up with Nancy Grace. Where are you at, KK and Edgar? Where are you at? Question. KK and Edgar to the office, please. KK and Edgar to the office. SF said no trash truck and someone with a screen showing.
seen the full footage from that that like the full angle, not the zoomed in one that the news got. It basically said that like it's not, that car doesn't seem to have anything to do with the home that evening.
So there's still confusion about, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know why. So I don't believe. I think people might be confused about they're calling the lights video. Like we put out an analysis on it that we did on it using AI and stuff, and I think that people might be confused of what I'm saying on that, because I think I'm agreeing with what they're saying. I don't believe that's a trash truck, and like law enforcement's insisting that's a trash truck. That's not a trash truck. And the light video is not a trash truck. So I'm not sure where they're getting that. There's some confusion because the timestamp was broke, as you said, was stuck on that camera. So at like 3 something in the morning. People watch it again, watch the upper left corner when it pans across it, that you'll see it's not moving at all. So you got to just forget about that 3 a.m. for a minute. That, and be open to, it could be any time during night hours, right? And so with the owner.
No, you don't got to forget about that 3 a.m. thing. They lined it up with other cameras in the neighborhood approximately. They know what time the actual trash truck came in the neighborhood, and they know what time the sun comes up. There's ways you can calculate approximately what time it is. It is 3:10 a.m. 3:10 a.m. Guys, I know, please, yes, let me. Yeah, he did like an AI thing. It's
No, we went and did some recreation tests.
Mhm.
Two or three nights we did there. The owner was extremely gracious and let everybody on the property. And he said, and you know, I'm gonna
hopefully
take them at
Sam
their
and Jake.
word. There's no reason not to. He said that, you know, again, he didn't. This was an old school camera. It had its own server. He did not know how to export the footage. TBI actually physically took the server from him, and but he said that when they watched it, he knows it was about, you know, a little after 5 a.m. in the morning. The reason he knows it is because right after what we see, which is, you know, keep in mind, that's somebody using a cell phone to record the computer monitor while I was playing. He said right after that, where they cut off, the trash truck turns right onto Stafford and the frame. Well, we know that the trash truck was in front of the Proudfoot home at 5:12 a.m. And I disclosed that to kind of give people something to go off and say, listen, you know, so if we're going to believe the owner of the house, then
I mean, I believe you want us to believe that that vehicle sitting in the middle of the road and those flashlights are at 5:12 a.m. I think that's what he wants us to believe, but I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all. He's shaped like a can of speed.
that's, you know, then that's more the time frame, you know.
Y'all are crazy.
So I guess, well, then doesn't, maybe I'm just misunderstanding, but then it sounds like it was the trash truck.
I'm sorry. Because I explained, I thought this is how we started talking on first. So no, so the thing is that, so when we were doing those recreation tests, we had already done the analysis of the lights themselves based on that video. And that's basically just measuring every pixel and seeing, even though the person's recording it with a shaky hand, even if they're doing that, if there's like two mounted lights, like say on tail lights, they're going to stay the same distance from each other no matter what's going on. So we start, and you know, and that goes for, you know, whether it be vertical or horizontal. Well, what we found was that those were deviating. So those were two separate light sources.
So
and
those are not one vehicle.
No, they're not. And so,
hold on, I think I missed this. I don't know. My head was probably just slush by now. What is he saying here? What is he saying? Is he saying it's okay? I was probably in timeout. You missed it too?
even if they're doing that, even though it's, you know, then that's more the time frame, you know.
So I guess, well, then doesn't, maybe I'm just misunderstanding, but then it sounds like it was the trash truck.
I'm sorry. Because I explained, I thought this is how we started talking on first. So no, so the thing is that, so when we were doing those recreation tests, we had already done the analysis of the lights themselves based on that video. And that's basically just measuring every pixel and seeing, even though the person's recording it with a shaky hand, even if they're doing that,
measuring every pixel.
If there's like two mounted lights, like say on tail lights, they're going to stay the same distance from each other no matter what's going on. So we start, and you know, and that goes for, you know, whether it be vertical or horizontal. Well, what we found was that those were deviating. So those were two separate light sources.
Is he saying, help me out here? Is he saying the light that comes on the headlights and the tail lights are two different light sources, meaning it's not a vehicle? I mean, they are two separate light sources, but it's on the same entity. God, 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 God. Let me show you this, mother chickens. Let me show you. This is just unbelievable. Let me just pop this up. I'll just make a new one. Just crazy. I think I've got it here. Take this banner down. And make myself as small as possible. Now, watch these lights. Watch right here. Okay. This is a light source. This is a light source. And it's clearly a freaking car. Carol, mine does too. Thank you so very much, Tina. Were any of you surprised when SF said the feed didn't have cameras? I sure was. Yes, I was actually. And I would disagree with that. I would disagree with that. Thank you so much, my dear. Enjoy life discussion detective was giving Aiden very specific questions to ask him next, and Aiden did ask him. That's good. Good. Very good. Thank you for letting me know that. Thank you for 7 continuous months. Really do appreciate it. 865 picker. Thank you. Jessica, for always doing your homework. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, my dear. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Appreciate you. So I mean, this, your headlights is a light source, your tail lights is a light source, right? So they are technically two different light sources, but it's the same at, you know what I mean? It's, I would have liked for him to ask, well, then if let's talk about these light sources. What are these light sources? I would just I think Aiden is going to do his homework here, and I think he's going to, he's gonna slam it.
So those are not one vehicle.
No, they're not. And so, and also the color temperature and the AI being able to actually determine a shape based on what pixels were being used or not didn't match up with taillights. So what AI was telling us is that one of them was just anchored, and the other.
Please, then anchored. It's anchored. What is anchored?
Was moving and was very likely a flashlight, which gave us a lot of hope that maybe that was Sebastian.
Well, then,
and then
I am sorry, y'all.
It was just kind of like dumb luck. As they're doing this test, the cameras are rolling, and a light starts moving across the monitor, and it's a guy taking his trash down, and
Wow, because law enforcement at the time said, we don't know what we don't know.
His trash can down from an elevated driveway, and I was not there, but the rest of the people went and talked to him, and he said that morning that he had forgotten to take his trash out, and he had heard the trash truck and with a flashlight took his garbage can, wheeled it down to the curb, and so that we believe, can't say for certain, we believe that's much more likely. That's probably what that light is. But I definitely do not. I know that that's not. They'll never convince me that was a trash truck for sure.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I think that clears.
Well, you'll never convince me it's a trash truck, and you'll never convince me that the neighbors that I assume you have spoken to has told you what it was. That the vehicle went down the street, turned around, came back, went on Stafford, got out of the car, walked toward the PF home. Two people came back. They did something around the trunk. The person got in their car. The other one ran back. I honest to God, feel like this case is an alternate reality because we can't like even agree on simple basic things that the neighbors publicly and privately have said. We've seen this with our own eyes. Do you think that let's look at this. Let's look at this. If that was a neighbor taking out their trash, do you think law enforcement would have gave a wooden nickel if we would have seen it? Do you think they would have given a wooden nickel? They got your trash, mother chicken. Go for it. They would not have cared. He spit out the same garbage Edgar told Grace. They would not have cared if it was a neighbor taking out their trash. If that was a neighbor taking out their trash, they would have said, that is unrelated. That was just a neighbor taking out their trash. Nothing to see here. They will not say what that is. They've never said it was a trash truck. They won't answer the question. They just say, we don't know what we don't know, which is, in my opinion, them saying, we know what it is, but we're putting it out. We don't know what we don't know. Because if law enforcement comes out, if that happened, right? If that happened, if it is something and law enforcement said publicly, I've said this 1,000 times, if it was something like this is actual evidence, and law enforcement says, no, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's just nothing. And then it actually is something, and they take it to court later. The prosecutor, the defense is going to pull this up, and they said, well, on such and such date, you made a statement to the public saying it was nothing. So this is how law enforcement works things. They won't answer the question. They just answer it with a non-answer. That is not someone taking out the trash.
There's a lot up about that.
Yeah.
Trash in itself.
So, you know, I think where I'd like to go next with this, because I think that covers most of the questions I had about that evening that aren't related to the things the Proudfoots have said and Seth Rogers. So one thing that I've heard a lot of, and I want to get your take on it, is I've heard a lot of people say, and some people have cited you as the source for this, that there are 2 hours where Seth Rogers can't be accounted for that evening.
Yeah.
My understanding is that there's like 20 minutes where he was on break using the restroom or something that he's not on camera, but that for the most part of that night, his alibi is confirmed.
Aiden is 100% correct. Seth was at his work for 12 or 13 hours. A total of 12 or 13 hours. He is on camera the entire time out of the 13 hours, 12 or 13 hours, except 20 minutes. 20 minutes. And I'm sure in a 12 or 13 hour shift, you're probably going to be in the restroom or out of a camera frame 20 minutes, locked in a jail, in his car, in a parking garage, which you can't go out. You don't have your phone in there, nothing. It's a jail. It's insane. Aiden did I think he did an exceptional job, Aiden. I know, like I said, I think a lot of people thought they were going to sparse back and forth, but I think Aiden was very smart in this. I think he just sat there and made him feel as comfortable as possible. And okay, honey, I got you. Look, and let him put out the information of what he thinks, and that way Aiden can go back and be like, but you said it was this, what about this? That's just my opinion. Again, I'm not saying that's what his thought was or anything. He was just listening. Aiden's very intelligent.
I've never said that about Seth, and in fact, I've heard that, but I've never even tried to check with his employer or anything to see if if there was a gap. I've heard this rumor of the gap in time, but I don't believe that, to be honest.
So as far as you're aware,
I'm not the source of that. They'd never be able to get me, to source me on that.
Okay, cool. So, like I said, my only goal here is setting the record straight.
No, I appreciate that you're asking the question so people know that, like, there's some.
Now, I will say this. I do not believe SF started that. I will absolutely take up for him on that. I don't believe SF ever said, or I don't think he was the one that started it, if you will. Because the person, from what I understand, who started it on the YouTube streets is a YouTuber. And they told me about it. I disagreed with them. Then they told Bobby about it. Bobby told me, and I said, I know where you heard that from. I disagree with it. I disagree with you on it. I disagreed with them on it, rather. So I don't think that was SF. Now, if he repeated it, I don't, you know, I don't really go on X unless it's just because I'm on here because y'all say go to X and do this, but I don't watch what he puts out.
There's like some stuff's been attributed to me. People just throw things out there, and it's not true. I've never ever said that Seth was unaccounted for.
All right, gotcha. So another Seth issue, something that I've heard you cited on, actually is with regards to.
Yeah, and Gypsy, yes. So allegedly, a coworker or someone allegedly posing as a coworker told this to a YouTuber, and this YouTuber repeated it to a lot of people. So there's that. Again, I don't know who the YouTuber spoke with, but this YouTuber said that they spoke, or they were told that someone that works with Seth, which I knew was bogus. Legend Pearls 3 and playing tag with no shoes in the middle of winter. Who says that? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah. A child that would be terrified to go out by itself, and a child that doesn't like to get dirty. And who plays air tag or flashlight tag or whatever in February anywhere on the from the mid-Atlantic up to the northern states, to the Midwest, the most parts of the United States, no kids are out playing anything in February unless it's sleigh riding. And to be honest with you, I think almost I don't think anyone in that neighborhood really has small kids, like many I think it's more all of their kids are pretty much either teenagers or grown up.
Him and Katie and how their relationship began. Obviously, there's this, I think, 9-year age gap between them.
Yeah. I think, yeah,
something along those lines. But,
yes,
obviously, Katie's much younger. She had Sebastian when she was 18, 19
Yeah.
maybe. So one thing that I've heard is that basically the allegation that for lack of a better term, Seth groomed her from the time that she was 12 or 13. And then there's even been these allegations that they were having an intimate relationship before she was 18. Obviously, that's a pretty huge allegation to make. So I guess my question there is that something?
Yeah, this was what I was talking about earlier. This was someone just sent this to me. Oh shit. Deception detective. This needs to be done like a deposition. I haven't heard a single straight answer yet. So bizarre. He also mentioned, and I agreed with him in there. He's like, this would have a yes no answer. A yes no answer. Okay. Hey mom, ended up people email me about that in June or July. I told them to verify. You can't believe people online claiming to be other people. Exactly. That's exactly right. Bingo. Momming it up 1,000%.
That would you say that their relationship began when she was a minor? And then if so, what's your evidence for that claim?
Yes, I have said that, and I stand by that. And keep in mind, I speak with the source directly. You know what I mean?
So if you speak with the source directly, and KK has never, why would I have compassion for any human being that has like Katie was done wrong when she was younger, right? But KK has never, ever, ever, ever came out and said something like this. I cannot wait until Seth gets on there with the Laura Lodge, Aiden, and talks about this. Just because someone meets when they're 12 doesn't mean they are doing the horizontal polka at all. At all. It's terrible. And he mixed some wording up. Seth said, KK said when she was young, I'm going to marry you one day or something to that effect. Seth said that in I believe it was Jennifer Coffindaffer's live. It wasn't, he was saying that KK said that. It's wrong. It's just wrong.
And I have no reason not to believe her. You know, Seth's also confirmed this. Seth, I've got a screenshot right here on my computer of him in T-Rev's chat saying that Sebastian was the first child they had that wasn't aborted. And, you know, and he'd spoken before about how there was 2 previous abortions, and there's no way to have 2 abortions and then have a baby or get pregnant at 8.
First off, so this is the text. I'm going to send this or the clip or the part. I'm going to send this to Aiden. Sebastian was the only child that Katie didn't abort of mine. They were together years. Okay. That doesn't mean anything. Number one. Number two, do you know how soon a woman can get pregnant after an abortion? Do you know? 2 weeks or less, even in some cases. 2 weeks. So he didn't say before, had never said, you know, abortion. And Sebastian, he said he was the only one that she didn't do this to. Yeah, you can get pregnant within 2 weeks after an abortion.
18, you know, and listen, I
mean, that's a in my opinion, that's a big statement to call someone, you know, a pedo because of a comment like that.
I don't want Sebastian to get lost again in this, right? But I will say that
but I mean, I don't know who else pushed this thing, but I know I've seen, you know, and heard you guys say that he pushed this big time on Twitter, X now, whatever it is.
Listen, there was a relationship before she was 18. That's just the
a relationship. No. No. Seth had another girlfriend when KK was 12 years old. She babysat for the family.
The long and short of it. And if I don't know why he would go down that route, because he knows that can be proven, but I
Um, I'm sure. I'm sure Seth would say, then hopefully he'll say, prove it on Laura Lodge if that's the
you know,
can be so
I
proven.
don't say about it. I don't want Sebastian to get lost in it. But if
Mhm.
people just do the math, just based on what he has said himself,
Mhm.
it's pretty evident. Now, listen, it's people have dug into their backgrounds and they know that Katie has had a traumatic life, and
I agree. Katie had an awful childhood. I have complete compassion for that. And so why is anyone still
so that might have been her best
bringing
option,
that up?
sadly enough, and I don't want to say anything more than that, but is
It has nothing to do with Sebastian.
he's not the angel, you know what I mean, people are saying, and Katie's getting run over.
Seth will tell you he's not an angel. Nobody's an angel here. This isn't heaven. Nobody. This is earth. We're mortals. We all get crappy sometimes within our life. But it's not about being an angel. It's about this point, this child is missing. Whether it happened, which it didn't, before or after or whenever, he's here. Sebastian is 15 years old. He's missing now. And what happened to him in California? You can bring up all of this stuff. It doesn't find him.
And it just breaks my heart sometimes because people don't understand that, or people I think do understand, but they just don't seem to care. A lot of them, the truth of the situation, and again, I don't think it needs to be about whether that right now. I think it needs to be about Sebastian, and without being this like, okay, only one side of the parents has got to be guilty, and the other isn't. I don't know why. Why can't we just find Sebastian first? Sebastian, whether he's alive or not alive, will tell the story of what happened, right? And so, why do we have to?
I mean, why do we have to be the example? Be the example. You know, I tell creators this all the time who come to me. And, they go back and forth with other people, other creators, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I tell them, you know what I tell them? Somebody has to be the first one. Somebody has to be the first one. Be the example then. And also just because other people are being this way or that way doesn't mean you or I have to be that way. Right? That's all it is. It takes two to tango.
Convict the person now? Why do we have to? It's not art. It's not. It's not.
Sorry about that. I was muted. Let me fix fix this.
Life, we'll tell the story of what happened, right? And so why do we have to convict the person now? Why do we have?
It's not about conviction. It has nothing to do with conviction. It has nothing to do with anything like that. That's up for police. That's up for authorities. Not up to any of us. None of us are going to be on that jury. It's not up to us to, you know, put charges on someone. Him, me, Aiden, you, and Chet, none of us. The question is, why is a stepfather who says he's not involved will say, I can't talk about Sunday afternoon? Why will a stepfather say, I can't say where I was the entire month? It is why they would not be interested in flashlight videos at 3 a.m. in the morning and a car taking off. It's why are you not being a voice for your son, KK? Why are you not doing interviews? Why are you not speaking to police? Why have you all, from at least from, I would say, most of our view, publicly, nearly 7 months. Maybe we're at 7 months now since the last time a mother has done an interview. Same with the stepfather. He got triggered the other day and literally made it worse for him. And you've got Seth doing everything he can, still running around ragged, looking. Also, he has 2 big interviews next week. You know, KK and Edgar were absolutely invited to go on the Laura Lodge. Aiden has asked them, many times invited them on the show. Seth's got and Tony's got an interview with Nancy Grace coming up. You think KK and Edgar would go back? No, they won't. They refused the lie detector test. Not they. Edgar refused, rather.
We have to. It's not our job, anyways, to build a case for law enforcement. They're, we're talking about TBI and Sumner County and FBI, with the help of FBI. We can't do better than them, right? So what we can do, though, is we can help find Sebastian, and hopefully, I wish we could keep it at that. I don't know why we got to, because what if we're wrong? Like, what if?
Well, what if we're wrong? I haven't heard anyone say they know 100% what happened to Sebastian and where he is. I have not heard one person say that, no matter what side you're on. What if he's wrong about Seth? I assure you he is. What if, can you imagine you being the lost child and, you're found and you reunited with your family and you're in the same situation as Sebastian would be. You have a dad, and your mom is separated, and your mom is married, and you have a stepdad. And you come back, and you see all these interviews for the last year that your dad has done. You see him on the news searching, doing vigils, which is a very important community event. It brings awareness, it brings the news out there. Like I said, it brings the YouTubers, all of that. You have your dad doing a lie detector test, constantly doing, traveling. If he gets a call and said, you know, look here, they get a tip, look here. And then you have your mom. She did a couple, a few interviews that um she may have said, I don't know, a whole, 300 words in all of them. And after, 3 months, just completely quit, allegedly not speaking to law enforcement anymore, just completely quit searching. She might, leave you some food out on the porch and a blanket and a yoo-hoo while she's down with, her hubby 3.5 hours away. How would that make you feel? Knowing your mother just no longer searching, gave up on you. Love is not words, right? Love is not words. It's a way we can tell someone, vocally say, but love is actually an action, right? It's what you do, and that you show up, and that you're there, and you do the things that someone you love um when they needed, in their time of need, the good times, the bad times, the hard times. That's what love is. And when you say you love someone, especially a child, well, do I think KK loves her son? I do. I do. I absolutely do. And I think, this is just my opinion, that if there wasn't something, if this was any other uh time, and there was, in my opinion, they didn't know more at the very least, then I believe KK would be out there doing it all. But I believe it's you know, she's self-preserving herself, really, with not doing those interviews. The more you say, the stickier it can get. That's why, you know, you're ever interviewed with law enforcement, they say don't say nothing. The more you say, the worse it's going to get, right?
People are wrong. And how do you ever apologize for that? How do you ever like make it right that you accused these parents of this horrendous thing, you know?
Mhm.
Listen, I think if you are not involved in your child's disappearance, or, God forbid, unaliving, and you don't search and you aren't proactive, I think you are a neglectful human being. I think you can be neglectful and not, by not searching, by not, being proactive in your loved one's case. Good question, Hey Jude.
So
Yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from there. I think what I would counter with, obviously, that I suspect Chris and Katie
mhm,
had something to
yeah.
do with this. What I would counter with there is that if this was foul play, then the chances you're going to find Sebastian drastically drop. It goes from he's
Veronica, I'm so sorry, my dear. I apologize. I've been yapping. Thank you so much, Veronica. Dumb luck. They had the camera avoiding the common area. What do you mean? They had the camera avoiding the common area. Who did? I mean, it was pointed in the common area. Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you so much, my dear. Love you. Thank you, Serenity. KK's aunt that did an interview with BHB said they were not in a relationship when she was a teenager or something like that. Yeah. Never. Never. He'll make it clear. And you know what? KK should make that clear.
like you said, he's probably within 0.7 miles of the house. He could be in Memphis, he could be in Virginia, he could be in Kentucky. He could be at the bottom of the river for anybody knows. So I think that's for me at least. That's why I'm sitting here going, all right, well, what makes foul play look possible? So that's why I'm trying to get the bottom of some of these things. And obviously, like that's with Chris and Katie. If he feels slighted, then that could potentially be motive. At the same time, there could
be Katie and Seth.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
If Seth feels slighted, then that could potentially be motive. In the same way that if Chris feels like for some reason or another Sebastian is a problem, he might have motive to do something about it. So I'm just trying to get kind of an understanding. So, but just come back really quickly to what you said about stuff Seth has said. Was it that do you have the screenshot? Like, could you share it?
Yeah.
If you use the share screen function? Yeah.
Well, I don't want to share. Can I email it?
You can email it over to us and we can pull it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, let me just say while I'm looking for this.
Go for it.
And that's totally. I get it. And listen, like I said, I go through that process daily, also of what could have, right? Looking at it because I'm only following. Like I don't come up with a theory and then try and bend things to fit that. I change as like evidence. So then, in like scenario you were talking about, which is fair to talk about, if he was moved and would they find him? So you got to go through. Okay, how would you get? We know he got to the house, right? We got. If we're believing that, if we're going to believe even Seth that he took the trash out, then how does he get out of the house to be moved? That would take like the vehicle and stuff in.
Absolutely. So how does he get out of the house? That's the quote $1 million question. So apparently he has the footage across the street, which is where he has the actual trash truck picking up the trash from the Proudfoot's home. Next, he has that of all night, from what I understand. And if you see, Sebastian is not been seen wandering around, leaving his home whatsoever. just like Edgar said, with his own words, if someone walked up to the door, quote, believe it or not, it would have been seen on camera, end quote. Okay, Cassie, I got you. And there is nothing. Now, there's lights on each side of the house. There's lights right there on the left side, where the garage is. Were those on all night? There are lights on the other side of the neighbor's home. He is not seen coming out of the garage or the what they call the man door, the side door. And he couldn't have, because he would have had to have had a key. Well, he didn't have a key, and he's not seen leaving out though that the garage door or the side door. He's not seen leaving the front door, but there is activity at the back of the house at 3 a.m. There's that.
And who could have been involved? Because keep in mind, there's
Oh.
all kinds of digital forensics that
Mhm.
so there's cell brights that have been done on there's dash cams, there's of course the video surveillance,
There's the two pings, if you will, that have two instrument two, we'll just say internet pings, if you will, use that term very lightly, within the period of time where Sebastian went missing, that have never ever pinged in that neighborhood before.
there's all these things that we know, her vehicle, onboard computer, like, so we know where vehicles were and were not, and when they were started and not started, and so then you can kind of limit down, like, okay, they didn't leave during this.
I would assume, girl mom, but one was Edgar's. He said that himself. I don't know who the other one was. Could have been the Uber, perhaps.
Necessary time. And also keep in mind that there's other stuff like and I don't want to get deep into this, I'm just going to give you a general thing, but I mean, like Apple Watches and stuff that show people so
you know what, I would want to know if KK wears her watch at night. Does she, most people wear their watch to bed because it tells you how good you sleep and, other things. It's going to be able to tell if KK was on her phone after midnight. Was her phone moving? Any of that?
we can tell, just like you can tell what people may have done by those devices, you can tell what they didn't do either, like if they're asleep or whatnot, and still registering heartbeats and stuff.
Yeah, I don't wear my Apple Watch to sleep, partially because I don't
Yeah.
want the government to know
Really?
everything.
There's a reason I stick with analog watches, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
Analog watches from Holtzkern, a partner of the.
Let me just give you one second.
Yeah, sure, go for it. Because I just chat really quick with you, Thornbury, about kind of what I'm thinking here is, because it just occurs to me. Also, when we think about the JonBenet Ramsey case, we've been covering that lately. If you haven't seen our series on JonBenet Ramsey, all the first.
Yeah, now they're talking about by the way, the smartwatches that you wear to bed, like sending it to like your insurance company, like your health insurance or whatever. It's for, if you're sleeping a full amount of hours and all kinds of
First
stuff.
four parts are out.
Ridiculous.
They're all in a playlist. Very neat, very easy. We are doing this we're organizing this to follow the police investigation rather than to look at the sum total of what happened, what we know now, so that you can kind of understand how the investigation unfolded and why certain things happened the way they did. But what I'm thinking about with Jean Benet here, 3 people searched that basement that morning after she was reported missing, after she was reported kidnapped. 3 people searched that basement. None of them find her. One even opens the door to the room that she's in and does not find her. And it makes me think, what about that morning when Sebastian was reported missing? How exhaustive was the search of the Proudfoot home? Did they actually look to see if Sebastian, did they clear every room of that house and ensure that Sebastian wasn't there? Because if not, that could complicate things.
Yeah, and also not only did they clear it, but like to what level of scrutiny did they clear it? Because like you just said with John Benet,
somebody opened a door to the room and she was in and didn't see her.
So it took the 4th time, I think.
I do not believe Sebastian is within that close to the house. I think it's possible he's in the vicinity, but especially within the first mile or 2 radius, I mean, can they miss it? Yes, they can. Equisearch, thousands of miles on foot. I would say he would have to be very, very, very well hidden, in my opinion, to be in that little area. He claimed he has Cellbrite training. It is only available to law enforcement with legal authority. He is not an agent with 3 letters or police.
It was
5th, technically.
5th, yeah.
Well,
depending on what you're
what you believe about John Ramsey's
claims.
But it was more than 3
to
actually find the individual in the room.
So
yeah,
I mean, do you know the answer to that? Do you know how thorough it was?
Yeah, I mean, I know that over multiple the canines were allowed in the house. I know there's been some rumor out there about them not letting canine in the house. That was a private handler. They didn't let in the house. That was saying that she was deputized by TBI, but wasn't. And TBI was like, "Gee, has nothing to do with us." So that's the person spreading that. There was I think 12 canines over like 4 days and they came in the house and then I know TBI came out with a statement saying that the house itself was searched multiple times by agents also, not just canines. So
what about the morning of?
Yes, that's so the morning of, I know that they let's say the morning of the bloodhounds arrived at like 1, I think they started about 2 p.m.
Mohawk, I think you can take a Cellbrite classes they offer for like the public, but I think
they got it like 1:30 or something like that. So, but I know that agents were in the house immediately. And Seth even mentioned that too. Seth mentioned that when he arrived, he sat outside for 30 minutes for some reason, watching what was going on. But so there was people in and out. There was no like restrictions put on who could come in and out. As far as, in other words, the Proudfoots didn't say nobody's allowed in. That anybody that was law enforcement was allowed in. And just with the layout of the house, there's no, and I'm not saying there's any excuse for that in the John Benet case, but that was a much bigger house, I think, with, there's not really any hidden, so, but it was searched. And, keep in mind in the coming days after that, then they started searching like the storm pipes and stuff and under the house and whatnot. And so I'm confident, and also, they did bring in, canines and HRD, which are cadaver dogs. And also just human wise, like with that many law enforcement people come in and go, somebody would have picked up the detection up. So, you know.
Yeah. One other really quick thing, because this is something I've been trying to nail down. The morning of the report, my understanding is that Katie goes to check in on Sebastian. He's not in bed. She then goes downstairs to see if maybe he's making himself breakfast. He's not downstairs. She looks around the house. He's not there. She calls Chris. Chris then calls the sheriff's department or county dispatch. Correct?
Yeah. So there's not it's not downstairs. It's a like ranch style house.
Well,
so
yeah, I guess that's my understanding was that it was kind of like a little bit of a split level almost, but
no, but yeah. So I'm sorry. So yeah. So there was that, and then he's not there, and then what you say? She calls Chris.
Chris
Well, I'm
calls.
sorry.
Yeah,
still.
yeah, sure. So my understanding was that she searches the house, doesn't find Sebastian. She calls Chris. Chris calls county dispatch, and then they send out either a deputy or a Hendersonville PD officer.
Well, there was also
Yeah, so they called him they called on three-way call together.
So at that, and then if you listen to the dispatch call, they say that Katie is driving around.
It has, I mean, it's, what do they call it? Like a story and a half? Is that what they call it? I mean, there is a stairway above their garage and bedrooms, the bonus room, but it's a big room up there.
Around looking for Sebastian, correct?
Yes.
So
yeah.
So Katie left the house in the vehicle before any officers arrived.
Yes.
Okay.
She did.
Got it.
She did. I will say, because I know what you're, rightfully, smart to think about. I will say that because of the placement of the various cameras, and there not being that many streets in that development, you can see her like driving these grids essentially. She's never off camera in the car for more than 20 25 seconds. Like she'll go up straight and then come down. And so
it's not what I heard.
So I'm confident there wouldn't be time to get rid of somebody, if you will.
Didn't she also head out east towards Gallatin at one point?
This is interesting, this part. Yeah. What about the Gallatin part? Didn't she go toward Gallatin? Yeah. What does that mean? I have not heard that.
That morning?
Not that I know of. No.
I'll have to revisit that because you watched the documentary we did earlier today.
I did. I can't remember if it was her going out during that search or if it was Chris going out later in the day. But
one of them did drive out towards Gallatin.
Yeah, somebody went out towards Gallatin to look because there was a specific time.
I mean, Edgar, they say he what, Trishy? Oh. Okay.
There that you had mentioned.
Sorry.
Yeah, I feel like it was Katie, but I don't know for sure.
So there was two specific sightings that were called in I think from law enforcement. There was one of a kid wearing a black hoodie that was like walking along a road, and then there was somebody that was flying a drone that spotted a kid. So maybe they went
because, Robin, in my opinion, because that's his clients. It's his clients. You know what I mean? Coin, honey, coin.
Listen, I don't know. Once law enforcement got there, I don't know their movements. I know that at one point, I know that Chris was riding around with TBI looking, but I don't know their exact movements. I know that Chris and Seth together, I think for a couple of days, actually rode around searching together before things kind of broke down.
Yeah, I'm just looking through.
They went in one, I don't know if it was one day or one time. Edgar went out one time with Seth.
The
notes.
The notes for this, 'cause I'm trying to remember exactly what it was that we had discovered on that end. Max led into the retaining pond, several hours. Yeah, I know that there was something out in Gallatin. I just can't remember the exact details about it. But yeah, so all right, good to know. So there's no point that you've seen where she leaves that neighborhood?
Well, she I mean, it says, I think I don't see her on the camera over there, but I think she left to go over to the school, which is
very nearby,
2 blocks, whatever, over.
That she didn't even stop at.
Gotcha.
She didn't even stop at.
So this is another whereabouts question that I think is important because it's definitely come up many times.
I mean, are you going to like stop and look or see if an employee is there when you go to the school?
And I struggled back when we started our coverage in July. Something that I was struggling to find a law enforcement source on, but I was able to find news media, private investigators. I think Seth's private investigator, Heather.
Yeah,
Heather. She had said that she confirmed Chris was in Memphis that entire night, but I was unable to find a law enforcement source.
Yep, there is none. Law enforcement has never confirmed at all Edgar's where he was.
Confirming that, has law enforcement established that Chris Proudfoot was in Memphis the whole night?
Yes, and I mean, and that is something that, again, you're gonna have to kind of have some trust in, because they're not gonna come out and say it, but keep in mind that there's cameras. So the project he's working on is a multi-billion-dollar project, right? So there's cameras there. There's cameras at his campground where, because he stays in a trailer while he's at work.
Well, which campground are we talking about? They both have campers, or they both have cameras. The one he originally stays at had cameras at the gate. The new one that he stays at does not have cameras all around it. It has cameras in where the office is, and that's it. That's it. How do I know? I've had people there. We were the one that broke where Edgar and KK were staying, and we talked to people there and seen it.
There's cameras there, and there's YouTubers that are watching this right now that know there's cameras there because they've been caught on those cameras and they know it, snooping around. And the owners of the campground area that have those cameras have confirmed they turned that over to the FBI, I believe it was FBI or TBI. And some other things are that,
thank you so much, Shell. Just need to go watch Mob Cruise when you're done. Enlightening video footage makes SF look like a fool. He is done. Yeah, I was talking to him earlier. He did like an AI model, if you will, of the landscape. It's really good, really good. So yeah, I am familiar.
His
Thank you so
vehicle,
much, my dear.
Chris's
Appreciate
vehicle's
you.
Wi-Fi enabled. It also has OnStar.
Mhm.
Those are all things that and their phones. So
Mhm.
people that watched the Murdoch trial, which I didn't really follow that case, but I did watch the part when the testimony about the Cellbrite
Mhm.
analysis, and it's incredible what they can do with the Cellbrite.
So what the I will tell you this. The Secret Service, I guarantee you, has cloned, and it's literally cloning, Edgar's phone, KK's phone, Seth's phone, maybe Sebastian's phone. And it will tell all of, hey, Tony, it will tell all of everything down to the last keystroke that you did on that phone. Yes, like a week or two before trial, and that was like 2 years. Something. They did this in the Caleb Harris case, Murdaugh case, all kinds of cases. Nothing is ever deleted forever. Absolutely.
With the Cellbrite analysis, and I've been lucky enough, or I've taken some courses through Cellbrite, and it's shocking, and so immediately in Seth's too, they went and collected everybody's electronics, and they cloned those, and they ran Cellbrites on them, so they know exactly where the devices were, they know where the vehicles were, they see them on surveillance. So if Chris had said that he was in Memphis at that job site, and they found out he wasn't, he'd be arrested by now, because even if they said he had nothing to do with it, lying to the FBI, and the FBI did question about that.
Holy
Lying to the
crap,
FBI
girl mom, I
itself
just
is a
saw
felony.
it.
You don't have to be so. Yeah, so I'm 110% confident that he was there, and like you said, even it's Seth's own private investigators, both of them, because they weren't hired at the same time, but they both, I think, were on the record as saying,
Give me a second, guys. I'll show you.
that he was at work.
But okay, so just to be clear about it, has any law enforcement source told you that they have confirmed he was in Memphis the whole night?
It told me directly, no.
Okay,
no.
got it. I'm just trying to make sure that we know what stage each information came from, because at one point Chris did say, I believe it was during his during one of the custody hearings, he told a New Mexico court that he had been cleared, which was not true.
Give me a second.
Yeah,
he did put in writing that he had been cleared by the authorities in Tennessee, and that was not a true statement.
He also said it in like 3 different interviews.
Yeah, and in like 3 different interviews, which is
another
reason that this has bugged me.
Yeah,
and I do agree with you that that's not a correct statement, because I've never worked a case where law enforcement is going to, they don't just hand out clear passes, they just don't do it, because it'll come back to bite them in the ass. But
they got to know somebody is 100% not responsible.
But they still have no reason to say, okay, here, it's like giving them a pass for some reason. So the only time I've only seen it happen one time in my career, and that was during the Patty Rodney case, and that was because this minor was just getting absolutely dragged. And but in this case, it was probably just, keep in mind that everybody's brand new to this, right? They don't know that, and to use that word, Seth's mom even used that word about Chris and Katie. Said, "Hey, TBI said that they were clear." I think it's like TBI was saying, they're not persons of interest. Nobody's persons of interest.
Girl mom, is that beside the car? I should have texted you that, but is that beside the car that you just showed me? I'm going to show y'all this. It's what I thought. Okay. Damn, hold on 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. I'm going to show you. This is behind the car. To me, it looks like people hugging. Oh God, sorry, I was muted. See, you can see like someone here, and then you can see someone here. Hair. Yep. This is beside the car. Let me see here if I got two D's. Let me check this. See, we don't have the really good footage that everyone shit, what did I do? That everyone else or that the neighbors have of that. What did I do? Okay. But the neighbors say that they come back, these people with the lights, they come back and they I can't tell if it's I need the raw format footage out. And they do something around the car. Where did you post, baby? Black leaning into the car with hair bump, and the other is lighter beside. Black leaning into the car with hair bump. The other side is lighter beside. Yep. But they say that they're doing something around the back of the car. Like I said, this is the back of the vehicle. I just got another program. I just paid for it. I haven't even started really using it yet. I need to play around with it. What's this? I wonder what this does. I don't know what that does. I might play around with this tonight. That's probably what I'm going to do. You sent me down another groundhog hole, girl mom. Yeah, it's something for sure, in my opinion. In the truck, back seat, or outside of the car. They just said, from what I understand, they were doing something at the back of the vehicle for a little bit, not very long, and then that's when the other one gets in the vehicle and the other one leaves. Yeah, they're like hugging or something. It's not someone walking the trash down, that's for sure. I'm going to go dig now. You are in an ice storm. Oh, guys, be careful. Please be careful wherever you're at. Please be careful. We're on a 2-hour delay tomorrow, so might be closed. We don't know. I only see one Teletubby person looking old and tired. I'll trace it out. I know it's redonkulous. Hey, Shell, baby. Thank you so much. Looks like someone in black and thinnish is getting into the boot of the vehicle, and someone right beside them in white making sure they get in my opinion. I think that it's the thing is, like, he was if he was taken out at 3 a.m., he was not walking. Send me another one. There we go. Here, guys, look at this. Okay. Wait a second. That's not it. This one's more zoomed in, I guess you could say. Um, it's like it's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let me try something here. I'm gonna go play with my program. Oops. And see what I can do with it. Let's try this. Let's try this. It's so hard to this is where the heat wave, you can tell this is definitely a vehicle, the heat wave here. Isn't that amazing? Definitely a vehicle. I wonder what this is. Huh. Oh, it's definitely a car. Definitely a car. Yes, you can text a picture to me right there. Where do you all see the back of the vehicle or people? The back of the vehicles where the red and the yellow is, it's the heat signature. Tells you where the heat is coming from. He sounds just like Edgar. It's cold everywhere. The black and white shadow is the best in my opinion. Yeah. I see a man with a mullet. Oh Lord, I believe law enforcement knows a lot more than we do. Oh, that's a child standing behind the one in the white. I have no idea. Oh, do I ever, baby kisses. Yeah. The head does have this. Matches the audio. All right, guys. I love you all. Thank you all so very much. This is my second live today. Thank you all so very much. I really do appreciate you guys out there. Take good care of yourself, my beautiful pearls. It is so cold. Love you all. Really do appreciate you. I will see you guys minus 18 here. I know it's pretty close to that here, I think. Love you all. I'll see you guys. Send me a text. Look at this. Will the real Shadyfoot please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up. Aren't they similar? Am I right or am I right? What kind of truck do you drive? They sound alike too. It's a 20. I don't know what is it. 2021. Diesel. GMC. Denali. He's not pervy to that. All right, guys. I'm tired. I know you're tired. But I'm going to go try to play with this program and see what I can do with it. You never know. If I get something really good, I might be like, I'm going live again. I'm exhausted, says Sam. Sam, you're too cute to be exhausted. You're too cute to be exhausted. You're all too cute to be exhausted. All right, guys. Good night. Love you all. See you guys tomorrow.